They never told you the truth about your voice. The system fears nothing more than your words, not your anger, not your fists, not your protests, your voice. Why do you think they work so hard to shut you up? Why the constant noise drowning out real conversation? Why the endless distractions pulling your attention? They know something you forgot. We are the valuable ones. Every time you speak truth, their empire trembles. Each time you question authority, their foundation cracks. When you expose corruption, their walls start tumbling. That's power they can't buy. That's influence they can't control. That's strength they can't defeat. Think about it. Why else would they spend billions silencing communities? Why invest fortunes controlling narratives? Why build entire industries dedicated to shaping public opinion? Because your silence is their ultimate weapon. When you stay quiet about injustice, you become their accomplice. When you swallow your truth, you digest their poison. When you bite your tongue, you taste their victory. Look at history's greatest changes. They never came from those who remained silent. Freedom wasn't won by those who whispered. Justice wasn't achieved by those who said nothing. Change wasn't created by those afraid to speak. The hood suffers while we discuss celebrity gossip. Our elders choose between medicine and food while we argue about sports teams. Our youth lose hope while we debate fictional characters. See the game for what it is. They've convinced you that speaking up is dangerous. They've programmed you to believe that raising your voice brings trouble. They've trained you to fear the consequences of truth-telling. But who benefits from your silence? Not your family, not your community, not your future. Only those who feast while you starve. Only those who profit while you struggle. Only those who rule while you serve. Your worth isn't measured by their metrics. Your value doesn't depend on their validation. Your importance doesn't require their acknowledgement. You were born valuable. You exist as essential. You live as irreplaceable. This isn't about becoming somebody. You already are somebody. This isn't about finding worth. You already have worth. This isn't about proving value. Your value is inherent. What they fear most isn't your violence, it's your clarity. Not your rage, but your reason. Not your rebellion, but your revelation. When you speak with conviction, their control mechanisms falter. When you share your reality, their carefully constructed illusions dissolve. When you tell your story, their narratives collapse. That's why they invest so heavily in your self-doubt. That's why they benefit from your insecurity. That's why they celebrate your hesitation. A voice that doesn't know its power poses no threat. A mind that questions its worth offers no resistance. A spirit that doubts its value presents no danger. But once you recognize your true significance, everything changes. Suddenly their intimidation tactics feel hollow. Their threatening postures seem desperate. Their attempts to silence you appear pathetic. Because you finally understand they need your silence far more than you do. Their entire system depends on convincing the valuable that they're worthless. Their whole operation relies on persuading the powerful that they're weak. Their complete strategy centers on making the essential believe they're disposable. Your community doesn't need your silence. It's dying because of it. Your people aren't helped by your restraint, they're suffering from it. Your future isn't secured by your compliance. It's being stolen through it. When was the last time staying quiet solved anything real? When has swallowing truth ever healed a wound? When has biting your tongue ever built something lasting? The most revolutionary act isn't violent confrontation, it's honest communication. The most disruptive force isn't physical destruction, it's truth transmission. The most powerful resistance isn't armed uprising, it's authentic expression. That's why throughout history, controlling regimes always target speakers first. That's why oppressive systems always silence voices before anything else. That's why corrupt powers always attack communication before all other freedoms. They understand what you've forgotten. Your voice carries ancestral power. Your words contain generational wisdom. Your speech holds revolutionary potential. Consider who taught you to be silent. Examine who benefits from your restraint. Question who celebrates your hesitation. Was it those who love you? Was it those who want your liberation? Was it those who seek your advancement? Or was it those who profit from your stagnation? those who gain from your subjugation, those who thrive on your limitation. The answer reveals everything about the value of your voice. Your silence isn't neutral. It's ammunition for those who would harm you. Your restraint isn't wisdom. It's fuel for those who would exploit you. Your quiet isn't peace. It's permission for those who would oppress you. Think about what changes when you finally speak your truth. Envision what transforms when your authentic voice emerges. Imagine what heals when your honest words reach those who need them most. Communities reconnect. Isolation ends. Shared struggles become collective power. Problems hidden in shadow get exposed to light. Issues buried under silence rise to the surface. Wounds festering in darkness begin healing in the open. Solutions emerge from unexpected places. Wisdom appears from overlooked voices. Healing comes from previously silenced perspectives. This isn't just about you feeling better, though you will. This isn't just about personal liberation, though that happens. This isn't just about individual healing, though that results. This is about collective transformation. This is about community resurrection. This is about generational liberation. Your voice might start as a whisper, but it grows. Your words might begin in your neighborhood, but they spread. Your truth might originate in your experience, but it connects to universal struggles. That connection terrifies those who depend on division. That unity threatens those who require separation. That solidarity endangers those who demand isolation. Because once we recognize our shared value, their perceived power evaporates. Once we acknowledge our collective worth, their imagined authority disappears. Once we embrace our mutual importance, their manufactured significance vanishes. The system never wanted you to discover this truth. Your silence doesn't protect you, it preserves them. Your restraint doesn't save you, it secures them. Your compliance doesn't benefit you, it serves them. But your voice, your authentic, unbought, unbossed voice, it creates worlds they can't control. It builds futures they can't colonize. It manifests realities they can't dominate. That's why they feared above all else. What happens when the valuable finally recognize their worth? What transforms when the essential finally embrace their importance? What changes when the powerful finally activate their strength? Everything they built to contain you crumbles. Everything they designed to control you collapses. Everything they created to confine you disintegrates. Not through violence, not through destruction, not through chaos, but through the most revolutionary force in existence, truth spoken without fear. Your voice isn't just sound, it's creation itself. Your words aren't just communication, they're manifestation. Your speech isn't just expression, it's revolution. Speak up, stand firm, share truth. Your silence is killing them. The ones who need your voice most. Your community, your family, your future generations. They're waiting for the words only you can speak. They're listening for the truth only you can tell. They're searching for the wisdom only you can share. Don't make them wait any longer. Because you are the valuable ones. You are the essential ones. You are the ones whose voices can transform reality itself. And that power, that's something no system can ever take from you unless you surrender it through silence. Let me break this down even deeper for you. They engineered a perfect trap, convince the powerful they're powerless, make the essential believe they're expendable, persuade the valuable they're worthless, then watch them willingly surrender the very voice that could free them. Brilliant strategy, nearly perfect execution, one fatal flaw: truth can't stay buried forever. The system depends on maintaining the illusion. The machine requires continuous deception. The operation needs constant misdirection, because reality itself contradicts everything they claim. If you weren't powerful, why spend billions controlling you? If you weren't essential, why create entire industries to manipulate you? If you weren't valuable, why build massive systems just to silence you? Their actions reveal what their words deny. Every time they censor a voice from the streets, they expose their fear. Each time they discredit someone speaking truth, they reveal their vulnerability. Whenever they attack messages instead of addressing messages, they demonstrate their weakness. What happens in your community when silence becomes the norm? Problems fester unchallenged. Corruption grows unopposed. Exploitation continues uninterrupted. The vulnerable suffer undefended. Your silence doesn't just empower the system, it abandons those who need you most. The young ones watching you swallow truth learn that submission is survival. The elders who fought for your right to speak watch their legacy disappear. The community that depends on your voice slowly loses hope. What you don't say becomes as defining as what you do. They've mastered creating the illusion of speech without substance. They flood media with meaningless debates. They promote endless arguments about trivialities. They celebrate performative outrage that changes nothing. All while the real conversations, the ones that could actually transform reality, remain unspoken. You've been taught that speaking truth is dangerous. Sometimes it is, but consider this. What's the real danger in your silence? What's the actual cost of your compliance? What's the true price of your restraint? Communities disintegrating, potential wasted, future stolen, generations lost. That's the violence of silence. When truth remains unspoken, lies become reality. When injustice goes unchallenged, oppression becomes normal. When corruption proceeds unopposed, exploitation becomes acceptable. Your voice isn't just your expression, it's your community's protection. Your words aren't just your freedom, they're your people's defense. Your truth isn't just your right, it's your neighborhood's shield. The system understands something crucial. Individual voices become collective power. Personal truths form communal strength. Single stories create shared movements. That's precisely why they work so hard keeping you disconnected. That's exactly why they benefit from your isolation. That's specifically why they profit from your division. A voice alone can be dismissed. A voice united becomes unstoppable. What happens when you finally break silence? First comes relief, the exhale after holding breath too long. Then comes clarity, seeing reality without distortion. Next comes connection, finding others who share your truth. Finally comes power, the kind that transforms rather than destroys. This journey terrifies those who control through deception. This evolution threatens those who rule through division. This transformation endangers those who dominate through confusion. Because a community speaking truth together can't be manipulated. A neighborhood standing in shared reality can't be controlled. A generation united in authentic voice can't be contained. That's freedom they can't revoke. That's power they can't diminish. That's strength they can't overcome. Your silence has never protected you. It only preserved the very conditions destroying you. Your restraint has never saved you. It only maintained the very systems exploiting you. Your compliance has never elevated you. It only strengthened the very structures oppressing you. But your voice, your authentic, unfiltered, uncompromised voice, it reconnects what they've divided. It clarifies what they've confused. It exposes what they've hidden. It heals what they've wounded. This isn't abstract philosophy. This is practical survival. This isn't theoretical revolution. This is everyday liberation. This isn't distant utopia. This is immediate transformation. When you speak truth about conditions in your neighborhood, solutions become possible. When you voice reality about struggles in your community, healing can begin. When you share authentic experiences from your life, connections form that power can't sever. The most revolutionary act remains the simplest. Speaking truth without fear. Not performance, not posturing, not pretense, just honest communication of reality as you experience it.